Hey everybody, in this video today, it's going to be a three-parter. First off, I'm going to discuss with you guys some gardening challenges I'm having right now and some solutions that come courtesy of the author of this book, John Brooks, The Complete Gardener. I picked this up at Half Price Books. This book is amazing. I'm going to show you what it's all about. It was written in the mid-90s by an Englishman. Of course, the English know a thing or two about gardening. So I'm going to, show you what little gems I found in there and how I'm hoping that it can help me to solve some garden problems, if you will. In the second part of the video, we're going to take a little tour and I'll be showing you what perennials are coming back, what I have been planting this spring, and just, my gardening journey. So we'll kind of check in on the progress there. And then in the third part of the video, I'm going to highlight for you guys, kind of bounce some ideas off you, of what I should do for the next video. I'm thinking it'll have something to do with propagation as we get into these consistently warmer temperatures that I see on the horizon for our area here in northern Kentucky. That's when you start thinking about taking cuttings from new growth, so you can get some nice roots, get some baby plants started, so that those can, continue throughout the growing season. I've just had some great success, as you'll see in this video in the tour, of overwintering propagated plants. It's a great way to save money. It's, overall, that's what this is all about. It's about building up your landscape over time. It's the journey, not the destination, right? And part of that is doing so with budgeting in mind. So for me personally, I've spent the largest chunk of my money on big trees, more mature trees, as you saw in the last video, for privacy purposes, to try to create a hedge in my backyard, because we're on that split lot. It's pesky. It's a pesky situation. We have great neighbors. But yeah, as far as privacy, still a work in progress on that. As I enjoy this coffee on this beautiful morning. I love coffee and I love these temperatures, okay? So I'm in a really happy mood today. As you can see, I got my gardening hat on. So I am fully enveloped in bringing you guys an awesome, hopefully, Kentucky Garden Girl video today. We are past the expected last frost date, by the way. We are about to be in May here. So I know locally in my zone 6B, that's what we're in, by the way, according to the USDA map. A lot of the local nurseries will say, your safest bet is to wait till Mother's Day to buy flowers. And I don't go by that. I mean, I know that, for the more novice gardener, that may be a good rule of thumb. But for me, I just make sure to watch, if I need to bring plants in, I'll do that before I get things that are questionable planted out in the landscape, But as I've shown you, I've got the Arctic Fire Dogwood, I've got a Forsythia, I have some other little plants that I need to get planted out, but I am going to wait until later in May. This book I picked up, Half Price Books, $9, and it is worth every penny, okay? I probably would have paid $39 for all the information in this book. This is the author. That's his picture. He is a famous dude named John Brooks. It says he is one of the most original and respected garden landscape designers at work today. Mid-90s. I don't know if he's still working. He studied landscape design in London. He is recognized from the Royal Horticulture Society. He's recognized by them. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty amazing stuff in this book. I've only gotten a little bit of the ways through, but it is really cool because it will show you just different scenarios, different layouts, different options, and he includes specific plant names to get, a certain look achieved. I think my favorite is like the cottage style garden. He explains about different pavers. He explains about ground covers, fencing. Southern frontage. This is one I did not see, but I should definitely look at this because this applies to me personally. A south-facing front garden beds. Looks like he's got some golden maples, some cedars. I was gonna explain to you guys about one of the ideas I had involving a cedar out in my front yard. So this kind of reaffirms that maybe I'm on the right track with that. Bamboo. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Some of the pictures in here. If you can see that. This is what the cover looks like. The Complete Gardener. Let me get my bookmark, which is my receipt. Oh, here's an explainer back here on bulbs. What else do we have? Trailing plants. I mean, he really breaks it down, and complete with illustrations and the keys to, you know, what he's trying to explain. Watering needs, climbing plants. There's a bunch of pages on climbing plants, rosette-shaped plants, upright plants, bedrooms. He even talks about house plants and how to configure those in your living space, making dried floral arrangements, winter flower arrangements. I love this book. It's just absolutely amazing. He breaks down water plants, bulbs, climbers, ground covers. Just amazing charts, all kinds of information in here. It really is like an encyclopedia. It's very well rounded. He talks about different container types. So I would highly suggest getting this book. I mean, this is one of those where if you're anything like me and you find yourself sitting around, you don't want to be staring at a phone and Googling for hours endlessly. You want something like this within hand. Great coffee table book. So my problem area that I'm hoping this book will help me figure out, I mean, I have several, but one of those right now is out in the front extended garden bed near my driveway. I've got to have a focal point tree or shrub there, and I'm just not sure of what to put there. I've already put some low growing shrubs. I put I believe a juniper, a sea green juniper, which is supposed to kind of splay out. I don't think it's supposed to get too terribly tall. And I've got my viburnum and some things. I'll show you that here in the tour. So got to figure out what to put. A Japanese maple, I have not been able to find one either at the small locally owned nursery or the big box store under $90. So it's quite an investment. I mean, could I spend that now? Yes. But do I want to do it before I'm completely sure of what will be the perfect thing? No, I don't want to do it prematurely because it is, I think, a lot of money to spend on just one single plant. Besides that, the most I've spent on a plant is, you know, a rhododendron that I spent $60 on, and I killed it. So then I got the next one, the replacement, for half off, so for $30, and I haven't killed it, as I've shown you guys, but I went to painstaking efforts to make sure that I did not throw away my money. There is a section in the book called Choosing and Using Plants, and this seems like one I'm going to have to read through, planting the garden, because, you know, the more information you have, the more you can ensure long-term success of your plants. Because the last thing you want to be getting into is buying plants, having to replace them, having to lug them back and forth from the nursery, and, you know, just waste money. I mean, I'm not about that life. I want to create paradise, but on a budget. I just think that's gorgeous. That's the kind of look I want to evoke. Maybe in the backyard. I see some hostas in there. Agastache, that's one that I hear a lot come up. So I feel like this video is a little all over the place, but, you know, to be honest with you, I've done a lot of the grunt work, the hard work of seed starting and getting my seed or my baby plants manageable. Now that we're going into warmer weather, I just feel so much more confident, with the exception of some sweet peas that I'm trying to grow, which you'll see in the tour. You know, I just feel pretty confident about where we're at. Just wanted to start this little tour of the garden beds by showing you what is giving me the most color right now. Far and away, it is this gorgeous azalea. It'll stay this way for a few weeks. So it's not a terribly long bloom time. It's kind of tucked away here in my front garden bed, but for the amount of time that it does last, I mean, it is really a showstopper, adds much needed color to my front yard. I'm going to go off the tripod here because, yeah, sometimes you just got to do that. Salvia's coming back. You can see in the middle, I had my, what's it called? I always forget the names. Not hyacinth. Muska something. What is it? It's the purple blooms, the bulbs. Anyway, I'll have to edit that in here in the text. But I'm trying to do succession planting, meaning purple color at various points throughout the growing year. So this is my earliest purple color, the bulbs that, you know, come open in spring. And then I've got my salvias here. This is more into May and June. These things will be giving off a ton of color. I actually planted some allium, which I'm surprised has bloomed already this early on in the summer. These are the smaller allium bulbs, as you can see, the blooms, but really gorgeous, keeping with that purple theme here as well. And so I scattered these kind of around the front garden bed. Here is what's going to be a gorgeous yellow rose. I'm not sure the variety on that, but it stays pretty petite, pretty compact. Of course, I did prune it over the winter. So that one's going to be giving me some lovely pale yellow blooms. I've got a juniper here that's doing well, and this is dianthus, which you can see the blooms on it. It's a pink, and it's got that blue cast to the foliage, which I absolutely love. And I love the blue cast here of the grass. That is a, I'm forgetting the name. I would know it if it was fescue. That's a fescue grass. Hasn't been too prolific of a grower. I've had it for about a year. So we'll see how it does this season. Sweet woodruff is coming back, and it has spread a little bit. It likes the shade, so it's kind of a dappled shade here in this particular front garden bed. So we'll see how it does. It kind of fried up a little bit last summer. I have a, what is this one? Of course, I keep blanking today. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe I just need some more coffee. Primrose. That's a primrose. I'm hoping to see some growth on this. It's been very painfully slow in terms of growth. That's an arborvitae looking gorgeous. Fire Chief. I got some new grasses. I'm really hopeful that this is going to be a beautiful blue grama grass. It's going to get quite a bit of height on it, so trying to space things out with that in mind. So hopefully when it gets some height on it, it will provide for some nice layering here in the garden bed. This is kind of an interesting little corner of the bed. This is something that I transplanted. I have to put the name of that there. I believe it's called a chokeberry. And I'm hoping that does okay. That could get pretty big. This is some bee balm that is spread a little bit, and it's doing really well. This is goldenrod. This is a volunteer plant that I did not put in the ground. It just popped up. So this time of year, you want to make sure that you're not pulling actual plants. You're only pulling weeds. And then I planted some peony starters, and I'm already starting to see some leaf action on that. That's a shallow planting you want to do. And my, oh, what is this called? It's coming back. Dusty Miller. Dusty Miller is coming back. I cannot believe that it actually came back, because it was one of those that's on the border for this grow zone. 6B. Heucherella coming back. I love that, because I was not sure about it. It was really looking pitiful for a while, but you can see it's like an understory planting here with the holly and the yew and then the heucherella, and it has come back. So it likes some shade. My yew is absolutely huge. I'm going to trim that up once it goes dormant. And rosebush, looking pretty good, coming back, looking pretty healthy. There's some kind of volunteer plant in here. Not sure. I think it could be a tree or something. I have to dig that up. Barberry looking beautiful, adding a little bit of red color here tucked away in the corner. And taking a look at our front planters, I have some kind of critter that's digging around in here, a little bit of a hole. I have some Neringium that I grew from seed, started in January. Bachelor button, same deal. Hopefully that's going to come in nicely. Still don't know if this lemongrass is going to come back. I know it likes the heat, so we'll see. I'm going to give it probably a few more weeks, and if it hasn't come back, I'm just going to put some other stuff in this planter because these are pretty big planters, and I want them looking good. I'm not sure what this little doodad is. I'm not sure if that's a perennial coming back. That's some more of the bachelor button that I grew from seed. And I did have to take a couple of trees out of this, some maple trees, and I put those in their own separate containers. This is dahlia, like little dahlias. I just picked those up from the plant nursery. And that is a cracked pot. But it's not hurting anybody. Good drainage, so I'm just going to leave it. Over in the garden bed that I extended and near the driveway, my viburnum is done blooming. It's got an interesting habit, doesn't it? Kind of looks a little messy, but the blooms are so nice, and it's been here since we've lived here, since we moved in. So I really don't want to move it and transplant it because that might not be the best. I believe this is a maple growing in the middle of it, though. I'm going to have to get that out of there. Something that came back for us is the coneflower. I believe this is purple coneflower. So happy about that. Cannot wait to see that. That is, I believe, going to be more of a bloomer in the late summer, mid to late summer. Also, black-eyed Susan, some echinacea. That is really leafing out well. So my hope is that they'll spread, and then obviously these spring bulbs, they are on their last leg, but that's okay. That's why you plant things for all seasons, right? I did find some Russian sage that I was very happy to get a good deal on. These little starts. I think they were $5. And this is, the perfect location, full sun on an incline, kind of a drier garden bed. And these are drought tolerant and they get really tall. Also have a juniper there that I picked up on discount. My Gara, that's not one that came back, but I've got to have Gara every year. Very drought tolerant. Blooms into the fall, into October. It might even be November, but it's great. And this is the Orangium that I started from seed. A little bit of yellowing of the leaves. Hopefully that's not a bad sign. Might be getting too much water, actually. I'm going to hold off on watering it, but we are supposed to get some rain. Some phlox I picked up from the clearance bin at Lowe's. Pretty pink flowers on that. But this is the kind of trouble spot, the question spot, where I need to put some kind of tree or large shrub in the middle here because there's nothing happening. It's just a big gap right along the driveway, and I need some nice visual interest, something that's going to complement the viburnum. So yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for what to put there. Maybe a Japanese maple, perhaps an azalea. Although I feel like the azalea blooms and the visual benefit is so short-lived, I'm not sure if I want an azalea here. I may go with a Japanese maple or maybe even a weeping cedar tree. I think those are really stunning. Something to be my focal point in this bed. So any comments or suggestions are welcome in the comment section down below. This is catmint that I propagated last year from cuttings, looking really strong, coming back. It's going to take it a while, I think, for it to get that globe appearance. Here's some allium and a butterfly bush that I picked up. Probably go in the backyard. The hydrangea bush is looking pretty good. I did give this pretty big haircut, pruned it quite a bit, but it's still looking a little wild, so we'll see. I may have to trim it back a lot harder next season. And this will flower midsummer, I believe. And this is my north-facing shade garden bed. Got some bamboo back there, hiding right there, tucked in. It never gets much bigger than that. Hostas. I did divide and transplant some hostas last season. It's a hydrangea right there. The hostas are looking super great. The foliage, the leaves are looking awesome. I got to figure out how to keep it that way because last year they really got super holey and tattered looking. I'm assuming it was a slug, but I don't know. So I got to figure that out. And this over here is kind of interesting. Visually, I feel like this is beautiful. I love the foliage. It's false strawberry. A lot of gardening resources will tell you to take this out, but I think it's a nice little ground cover. I've got to find something to cover up that along this wall. It's very unsightly, kind of rust stain. So that's on my agenda of things I need to get solved. But I just think this false strawberry is really pretty. Next to a large pine in the front, north facing, I have a beautiful viburnum. I mean, this thing is like a fully grown tree. It is so nice. It's already spent its blooms, but I believe it's called the leatherleaf viburnum. It's really like rough and hairy, the leaves are, but it just gets huge. Great plant. And here's where a lot of the magic happens. This is my hardening off corner where I've got some of my beloved plants that I've been trying to get to grow. Sweet peas are so slow. I don't know if it's because of the heat. I don't know what's up with this, but these sweet peas are very slow growing. They've really not taken off at all. I hope that they're going to be all right. I've given them something to trail on, so we'll see. I mean, this is my first time growing them, so please let me know in the comments if that's normal for them to be slow. I don't know when they're supposed to take off. I can obviously wait. I'm obviously going to be patient. I think they're worth it, but yeah, it's a little frustrating. So hopefully they're okay. I've got some hydrangea that I overwintered in the garage. Took cuttings from these last summer. They're looking great. And here's a couple more. Doing good. I need to get these planted out in the landscape, but I'm just not sure of where to put them. So that's what's slowing me down. Some creeping Jenny that's coming back, looking really beautiful. I don't think I'll put that in the ground. I think I'll stick with putting those in planters. And these are some more sweet peas that are growing. They're also slow. Maybe it just doesn't like the climate here. A bunch of zinnias that I'm hardening off. These are looking pretty good. I think they like the heat. Some delphinium, I believe, seed starts that I have. I actually had success with the seeds germinating this time around, which was not the case last year, so that's a good thing. Love to see success. Let's see what else we have. I believe this is Orangium. This is actually grown the best of any Orangium I'm seeing. Huge leaves on this. Looking very healthy. I think it likes the heat. This is mint. I've got to find some kind of pot to put that in. You don't want to put that out in your landscape. Ooh, no, you do not. No, that's cat mint. I'm sorry. This is the mint. Bachelor button clearly likes the heat. And this here, I believe, is the marigold. Marigold. Kind of nice red. And we also have some Shasta daisy. I'm going to put that out in the landscape. Growing some lavender here in a pot. It's looking okay. I was really disappointed with my lavender seeds. Not many germinated. I think that was the only one. And this is sunflower that my younger daughter started in a nice deep pot. And we're going to eventually plant that somewhere. Not sure where, but they like to be in the ground. Let's see what else we got over here. This is, what is this? This is Arctic Fire Dogwood. I've got to put this in the landscape. Let's see what's over here. Ooh, as I almost bite it. Hello. Beautiful hostas. Those are big. Those actually probably need to be divided and transplanted maybe in the back. This gets a lot of sun. Hydrangea there. This gets a lot of sun, so they could be divided and put in that other garden bed that has more shade. Ooh, I gotta pick this one up. That's not good. That's never good. This here is the forsythia. Still don't know where to put that. And Columbine, absolutely doing great. I just love those blooms. Look at that. I purchased this from Lowe's or Home Depot. Home Depot. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And this is the, oh, I forget, ground cover. Oak leaf hydrangea. This is a native species. Don't have to prune this one at all. It's looking pretty good. Look at those big, giant leaves. Now this growth actually looks healthy. I picked this up from the nursery and she was looking a little, had seen better days. She's looking a little past her prime at that point, late in the season, late in the summer. But you can see she's looking lovely now. Rhododendron, she has already had her 15 minutes of fame this growing season with her lovely early spring blooms. Now we're seeing green. Now our focus is on the foliage. And she's got quite a bit of new growth. I did put her into some compost material, so you definitely want to plant a rhododendron if you have clay soil into, you know, some good soil. So you want to make sure that their roots are shallow, so they'll eat that up. Quite literally. Be looking forward to the next couple of videos. I'll be showing you my journey of digging up and creating a garden bed in the backyard. Some spaces where I need to fill in between some arborvitaes for the privacy, because that is such a concern. And it's just so hard when you're waiting it out. It takes years for some of these shrubs to get the height that I need because we are on this inclined flag lot and it is just creating such challenges for us. But yeah, I think I may be starting some other seeds here shortly. I haven't really been having to deal with the plant light in the basement, which has been nice. I haven't had to worry about turning that off at night, turning that on in the morning. It's mostly at night where my alarm just blares. And right as I'm falling asleep at 9 o'clock at night. So it's nice to not have to deal with that. But yeah, I mean, just trying to stay busy. And that's about it. I wish I had more to say, but right now, gardening has had to take a little teeny weeny bit of a back seat to focus on some other things. You know, you don't want to make this your whole life, but it is a good reminder to get your hands dirty, touch grass, as they say. Just connect with the earth. Oh, a fun way I get to connect with the earth, I get to pull some poison ivy because it's back. So that will also be on my agenda in the coming weeks. Until then, take care. Let me know in the comments what you guys are doing right now outside. I imagine a lot of you are buying up annuals if you're into that sort of thing, creating lovely containers. I'd love to see them. So let's just share what we got going on. And I will try to link to this complete gardener book in the description below. Bye, everybody.